Alright boys, happy 7-Eleven. Probably not going to do the 7-Eleven run this year for the free Slurpee, but just a reminder today, Slurpees all across the nation are free. Small Slurpee. And get your favorite flavor in the small cup. I would go with the classic cola flavor. Last night's featured presentation was Whitewater Summer 1987. Very small cast. There are only 8 people credited, and only 8 people who appear at all in the film, unless you count like the extras on the streets of New York when Kevin Bacon is walking or is biking through New York. You see some people on the street, but not counting those people. There's only 8 people total. So for the majority of the movie, there's only 5. So you have Kevin Bacon as Vic. You have Sean. This is not a review, by the way. Just talking about it a little bit. Kevin Bacon as Vic, and then you have the 4 teenagers. Sean Astin as Alan. Sean Astin from Lord of the Rings, probably the most known thing. Rudy, 1993. Jonathan Ward as Mitch. And Jonathan Ward was in the critically maligned 1988 comedy Mac and Me. Check that out. Mac and Me. It's a cult movie, one of the worst movies ever made. Casey Martell as George. He didn't do much except he was in, I guess he was in like Growing Pains a little bit, recurring character, but not a whole lot. And then we have Matt Adler as Chris. I talked about how he's in the North Shore from 1987. I think it's the exact same year that Whitewater Summer came out. You also have the parents of Alan. The dad is played by Charles Siebert, who was in Trapper John M.D., and then the mother is played by Caroline McWilliams, who was in Guiding Light. But both of them are in a very short scene. And then you have the shopkeep. I forget his name. When they go into the store, and Casey and George gets the penthouse, the guy running the store is named, I forget his name, but he's like, that's his only film credit. So it's someone they must have found along the way. But one thing I picked up from this film was that there's kind of this, during the whole camping thing, there's kind of this whole like ranking of the group that sort of naturally falls into place during the film. So like, so you have Vic as the leader, the one adult there. But for the 4 teenagers, you have Chris is kind of the top guy. He's kind of the second in command. He's taking the most important orders from Kevin Bacon. So he's kind of the top guy. And the second in command would be like the guy who would be George. And part of this is because of age. Like those two there, Chris and George, are like a year or 2 older than the other 2, so that's one reason. And then the third in command would be Mitch, who is kind of buddies up with Alan a little bit. There's kind of like a 2 little cliques there with Chris and George, and then Alan and Mitch. So Mitch would definitely be third, and then Sean Astin's character Alan, who's really the main character in this for really the whole movie. Really, the majority of the movie, he's the 4th in command, even though he's like it's probably the smartest one there, and he really takes a lead role at the end, but he's kind of the whipping boy of Vic, and then of the 4, of the top 2 guys, he's kind of friends with Mitch. So anyway, kind of a thing that came to me when I was watching that. Tonight's feature presentation will be Hot Moves 1984. This was not one that I talked about on the Whiteboard series for July. I did talk about it in June. So we'll have that going. Alright, so it's supposed to be June, but July. Adam Silberg, Michael Zorich, Joel Sholin, Johnny Timko, Deborah Richter, Jeff Fishman, Tammy Holbrook, Roger Rose, Monique Gabrielle, Virgil Fry, Jerry Marin, Carrie Noonan. The list goes on and on, but this one, Gail Gaines, Clark Jarrett, Brink Stevens. A lot of notable names here if you're 80s or like horror film fans. So, I'll probably watch this again in September, early September, and if I do a review of this, it will be in September. It will not be like tomorrow or the day after. So, all right, so a couple of back-to-back quality feature presentations. We've had like 4 really good ones. The whole month has been awesome so far. But this will be really good. Picked by DNR Manny to go along with the Collie Power Pie. All right, guys. All right, so have a good 7-Eleven. And just to correct my mistake from last night, Free Jack Balls 25th silver wedding anniversary today. Congratulations. 7-Eleven 99, not 98. Okay, so I hope he has a great night. I think that was really close to the David Cone perfect game, if I'm not mistaken. But right around that time. All right, boys. This is 7-Eleven. Go get your free Slurpee, Jackals.